Hello and welcome to my channel. I do drawing and stuff, and I was just planning on sketching stuff from the book that I've been reading. I'm not sure if the setup of my stream is working, but we'll see. We'll see. Just have to make sure that I have my stuff all set up. Trying to get the chat to show, even if nobody's really gonna be in the chat. Just safe to not ever be sorry. I'm not sure if it's gonna show up, but whatever. Okay, I have some of my things on, but I don't know if it's gonna show the chat or not. Am I even public? That may be the problem. I'm on unlist right now. Public. Save. I am, I think, live. I have no idea. At least my camera's working. Just not sure if the chat itself is working. Okay, up. I'll see if I can get it to work. I'm not sure if it will work, but whatever. It was a failed experiment. I'm just gonna get rid of it. Yep, okay, we got rid of it. Just gonna enlarge my screen. There we go. There's my pen and paper. And I guess I'll just start sketching. I've been reading this book called All the Light We Cannot See, and it is actually a pretty interesting book. There's this girl. Her name's Marie-Laure. Or no, it's not Marie-Laure. I think it's like Marie-Laure or something like that. And then there's this guy Vena, um, and they're both like kids for part of it, but then they get older, and it's sad what happens to them because it's set during World War II. But I was thinking about kind of like the kid's room, and I'm not sure exactly what it looks like, but I would think that like he'd have like his bed kind of like in this area. It said he had a cot, so I'm just gonna kind of like draw like a slab that's kind of like a mattress, and then I don't remember. I think he had like some boxes beneath his bed. And so, or a box beneath his bed, I'm not sure. I'm just gonna draw like some supports and stuff. We'll see. It's probably not gonna be very good, but you never know. Just trying to sketch from my imagination what I may think this kid's bed would look like, because it looks kind of funky what I have right here, but whatever. Just draw some stuff. I would think he'd have like a box underneath because it said he had like a first aid kit in which he had put his things in his radio he had. I wonder what that would look like, but it's kind of older, so and they had it like near the window. I'm just drawing random lines now practically. Well, that looks interesting. He may have had a pillow of some sort, but I don't care. We will just draw towards the wall. Give ourselves a ledge here. And it said something about like a wire kind of going up because I think it had like coils around it. Because it's this old timey radio that they had installed this thing on it. It said it was shortwave, and yeah, where basically you don't pick up very much stuff from it, but you can like get more local waves. So I think there's like a dial or something on it, and then maybe a coil, but then there's also just like a bunch of like wires and stuff. It looked kind of janky because he had put all sorts of modifications on it, so I'm just gonna kind of make random lines to it. But I'd say the room was kind of interesting. I'm trying to come at it from this weirder perspective. But yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to draw a room because I know he had like his sister on the floor and she'd like draw and stuff with paper that they found in the street because they were broke and they're in an orphanage. So just draw. I think she had like decently long hair, but it was like white and stuff because they have this like funky hair. But yeah, I think like she'd have like her legs up or something. I don't remember exactly how it was, but it's not gonna look great. But draw these funky legs. Oh, looks pretty bad, but whatever. Pretty much just a sketch. Because she's drawing. I have no idea how to do. I would think like a leg bend would be like that. Yeah, I think that looks a little better. But yeah, basically, there's just this little girl drawing on the floor on these pieces of paper that I would think would be kind of spread out with random things drawn on it. She liked to draw buildings, whatever, like in France. She was obsessed with Paris, even though she'd never been there, because they were kind of like too broke to go anywhere. But yeah, kind of interesting though. But yeah, trying to draw little buildings because she loved the architecture and all the fun things, and she would love to visit. But unfortunately, she lives in Germany and in an orphanage, so she can't do much with that. But I would think her brother would be like over here with his hair kind of. It kind of sometimes looked like they were like electrocuted or something. But he liked to read these books. He had this one book called The Principles of Mechanics because he was obsessed with physics and learning all about those things. But I think he's 2 years older than his sister. But yeah, they're both into like reading things. She's not as like naturally gifted with like his intelligence and stuff, but I think he'd probably nestle up and kind of like read in the corner, kind of like that. Yeah, so they'd be somewhere around there. Uh, how do I want the chat to show up just in case there's people? Because it doesn't show me that. I don't know how to get it to pop up for y'all, but I can get it to show me chat just in case. Did it sign in? Oh, okay. Logging in to just look at the thing. Do 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 do. Because just in case there's anybody there. I don't know if anybody is gonna pop up or pop into chat or whatever. But just in case. Putting the chat on my screen. If it'll load. Then I'll just continue drawing. Because who doesn't love to draw? Make all the messages visible. Sorry in advance if I don't see your message or anything, because I will probably get lost in drawing and won't remember. But yeah, we're trying our best. I would think it would be kind of on a ledge like that, because it's a radio and they had to have it kind of out there. Shadow his face, maybe his body a little bit, because he's sitting back there further away, and it's supposed to be like nighttime and stuff because she'd sneak up to his room. I don't know what would be on the wall, but I would think that if it was more modern, he'd have posters, but it's older, so I think his wall would be more bare, and the bed would actually probably extend over here. because I made him taller. I wasn't sure what time the book I was drawing, but whatever. Just make a funky looking pillow, because who doesn't like funky looking pillows that are just semicircular blobs? Okay. Well, got this. Just sketching. Do 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 do. Let's see if this makes a difference. As to if it looks further, like that's the darkness and these things stick out a little more. I mean, it makes it look a little better. But yeah, I'm sketching with pen, so it's not gonna be perfect. But yeah, got this little box. But I should probably draw something outside. I know there'd be like a street or something, probably. Maybe a sidewalk. It would have to be dark outside though. I'm gonna draw it from the corner. There we go. I don't think his room looks something like this. Maybe he'd have pictures that he and his sister drew on the wall. But he made this radio when he was 8 years old. This is a fictional story, but still, it's like, wow. An 8-year-old making mechanical objects. Fascinating. But I really like the book. Reading it for English. Yeah. Just gonna post random like pieces of paper looking things on the wall. They probably had some sort of adhesive. I have no idea what the room actually looked like because there's not like a whole bunch on it. But I would think he'd keep the pictures he and his sister drew. Maybe some of his mad ramblings about technology on the wall. But they would collect scrap pieces of paper and just draw on them because they didn't have money to buy nice new paper. It's kind of a sad book, but I like it. I'm trying to see, how do I draw a fence? Maybe like that. It looks funky. Just trying to build random buildings. Because she was obsessed with architecture. It's just hard to make different looking things. Because it's just kind of hard. But I'll probably leave this scene over here and then maybe try to draw something else on the side. We'll just leave my non-complete drawing here. But yeah. I don't know. She'd sneak up after it was bedtime, like after they had done their prayers, because these were in an orphanage run by this like French lady who was like somewhat religious, and so they'd do like their evening prayers, and then they'd have to go to bed. But yeah, I don't know. Trying to draw random things. What do buildings look like? Maybe she'd get like a more the dome triangle things with the Louvre and stuff. Maybe. She probably never saw it. But I'm just gonna put it there just in case. Any other buildings? She liked the architecture, so maybe I'll just make some funky looking. My little mini pictures look real bad, but whatever. Maybe some random scribbles too. Be like, that's a river. But I don't know. Maybe the sun, some people, the water, with the bank and stuff. Make the water darker. It's a little person that you can barely see right there. Just draw some different things. Maybe I'll put a sun. Some different stuff. Make some squiggly lines. Plenty of gardens and things, but well, that's good for me with that. Is there anything else that I remember in this book? The kid brings that radio and brings it out into the alleyway. And actually smashes it. And with a brick. Because I guess he was trying to like fall more in line with the German regime at the time. Smashed it with a brick. My illustration is real bad. But we're just trying to get the point across that he took the brick, smashed the radio out in the back, like you drew a little door or whatever, to their place. He did it out in the back. Not sure what it looked like, but this was like more dark and stuff. It's unfortunate what he did there. Oh yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that white hair. He had also gone to help fix like this. I would think it would look kind of like this with probably like a dial and a whole bunch of other random things on it. But it would have to look pretty nice because that's what the more rich people had at the time. I have no idea what it looked like, but I would think it would look something like that, like kind of like what those old jukeboxes look like, but it would have to be kind of like a stereo with this kind of knob or whatever. I have no idea what it looks like, but whatever. Is there anything else I'd like to draw? Oh, there was also this thing. It was called, I think, the Sea of Flames. Anyway, it was this really nice diamond that was like 1,000 something carats. But like real nice. But it had kind of like this like bluish flame in the center that kind of came out, but I think it would be, or was it a bluish flame? May have been a reddish hue. I think it was bluish though. Not entirely sure now. But whatever. Just leave it there. But it was kind of like this bag, this little pouch. Because I had a whole bunch of them. I don't know. I think I'll just start randomly drawing a face. Because why not? These faces are fun to draw. Could have someone in shock. I don't know. Who would be in shock? Maybe this kid, because he had just been offered a bunch of cake. To like 13. I don't know. Get that white hair. I don't know. Kind of lost. Because I'm not very good at drawing from my brain. Even if I kind of have an idea, I tend to not be very good at it. If I'm using a pen, I'm only able to really draw stuff I know how to draw. But whatever. I don't know. May rather do more realistic drawings of some sort. Just like scroll on the internet, look at stuff. But whatever. Uh, Maybe I'll draw some statues. yeah, whatever. I don't really care about this page, more so just concepts. If no idea how old he would be with this. I don't know. There's a statue. Kind of start like picturing the face. And kind of more roundish. And then just hair. And a little bit right there. More blob over there. It'd be so hard to sculpt hair of all things because it's so detailed. And you have to get it to look like it flows, which would be, in my opinion, very difficult. But yeah. Trying to get it to look a little bit like the picture. I don't know how much it'll look like the picture. Because I am sketching with pen. So it makes it a little harder, especially when it looks all lopsided like it does. So I will just keep it lopsided. Get the nose in here. And the statue face of just existing. It looks kind of funny. This face I have drawn. But yeah. But she got a neck. The pupils. Which her eyes look real funky. She just looks like she has some black eyes, but whatever. I don't want to put a whole bunch more on this page. Maybe I'll just like get a little more details in the hair. Shade in some areas. Under this like pop out section and up here. There we go, there we go. And under his section. Or the eyebrow section. That one. This kind of just merges into here. And the face. How this comes down into the neck. And then there's this triangle section over here. Well, that's decent. I'll just sketching this section. I'm much better at drawing physical things I'm looking at than drawing from memory or from imagination, which is very hard. I was like, I'm gonna draw from imagination. And then we have pictures that look like I don't even know how to draw. Over here. It's like, oh no. This looks real bad. Looks like I'm in middle school. This looks like a concept picture that just looks like a really crappy jukebox. This diamond merged in with this guy's head. I mean, maybe he looks a little anime-ish, so then it's not quite so bad. But it's still... it's not very good. I'm done with this page. I'm just annoyed by how bad it looks. I can maybe draw something a little better. And I think I'll change my mic to have a little bit more of the drawing. I'm trying to remember other stuff I've drawn. I don't want to draw statues. How about I just scroll? I just want to scroll. Home. Thank you. I love AI photos. They are my favorite. But whatever. I don't know. It's kind of hard to find things to draw because everything looks like AI generated, which is a problem when you're trying to have actual references. Let me see. I'm trying to remember that site I was using that is non-AI photos. Let me see. Ah, yes, called Unsplash. Yeah, there's no ED on it. Okay, Unsplash. Boop. I have no idea if my thing's actually streaming or not, but whatever. I don't know. Am I able to refresh this page? Because I have it on. Not sure if it's streaming on YouTube. I mean, there's one way to easily check, which is if I actually go and look at my account. Am I live right now? I don't know.
it doesn't seem like I'm live. And that would make sense if I'm just talking to the internet. Let me see, let me put the stream key in and see if that does anything. I don't know if it's actually streaming or not. But we'll see. Like, I think it's streaming. But then it should be like accessible or whatever to the online. But I don't know if it's doing that. I mean, it says I'm live if I go on live now. But it's unlisted. That's a problem. Okay, is it live? Maybe. I have it on public. Oh, okay, now it's showing. It's showing up. It was live. So, what's it doing now? Okay, it shows that I'm live. Does it show what I have right now? Or is it just showing a paused thing? Oh, that's because I was on this page and then I'm not on that page. Oh, okay, that makes more sense. That makes more sense why it's blank. And so, yeah, it is live. It is live. Okay, that's good. And my hand is not showing up. Is it not connected? Oh, it's just delayed from looking here on YouTube to looking at my thing. Okay, that makes much more sense. I was confused for a bit. But, okay, that makes more sense. That makes more sense. I think I want to draw faces. Probably. I think. Oh. Are there faces though? Let's see. Faces. I think I've drawn some of these people. I've tried. Oh, that guy's very expressionate. He looks fun to draw. Put my paper right there. So he has a beard. And this very expressionate mouth. May not have done that totally great, but whatever. I'm just trying to get his mouth to look okay. Like that. And out here. Okay, there we go. And he has a tongue, I think, but I don't know if I super want to draw it. Because his mouth is kind of dark on the inside. So I think I'll just shade it in. His tongue just a little lighter. There we go, there we go. Look at the lips a little bit. Then, yeah. sorry to anybody who may watch this. I didn't realize my video was not public. Just talking to myself with no chance of anyone joining for about 40 entire minutes. I don't know if anybody will join, but whatever. I'll probably be signing off like somewhere around, what time is it right now? Yeah, somewhere around like 11 or so. I'm getting this guy's funky beard. And it poofs out on this side. And then it comes up here. And then he has like his head. Here, some eyebrows up there. Up here's eyebrows. Then the other bit of his eye. I have no idea who this bearded man is. He looks happy, so we'll attempt to capture his happiness. The eye kind of comes about like that. Then the underbits, the nose, with a whole big bit of it over here. Just like that. And then I have no idea if this is any good. I'm just trying to draw like the man's face. The pupil. And then this other eyeball. A little bit of it. And then there's a circle about there with the pupil. And I will color it. This bit. Now it looks a little bit like a frog to me. It's kind of funny, but yeah. And his hair comes out a bit like Santa Claus's beard. And then he has ears. On the side of his face. And his beard comes out to it on this side. It's a little darker inside the ear. And this other side is similar to that. With other little bit, and then a little bit that comes out, and the rest of that ear. His head comes out. I think he has some hair on the top of his head, but not like a whole bunch, but just like a little bit. I'm just gonna give it to him that he probably had like some hair. Don't want to make him bald or anything, because I don't think he was bald. Then had a little bit of those wrinkles. And his hair, it's like lighter, but I'm not very good at drawing lighter hair with pen, so everything tends to come out darker than it is in the thing. But I'll just layer his beard and call it a day. I mean, that's kind of how beards look. They're layered and stuff. Mostly point out straight. Okay. Almost done coloring it. This guy's his beard. Okay. Then he has like some hair on his head. So now it looks more like a lumberjack, which is fine. For a beard like that, you should be a lumberjack. Okay. So we got some shading. He's shading his mustache. Okay, that's a little better. Here's the facial lines, because he's like making this expression. I'm gonna shade side to side. That might help with darkening. This inner bit of mouth. So that's supposed to be pretty dark. There we go. It's a little better. And I'm trying to get his teeth to work a little better. And maybe a little bit more to the side. There we go. So his teeth have a little bit more definition. Like, he looks decent. Not exactly what the original guy looks like, but I mean, looks like a human at least, so it's a good thing. Okay, so I think that's good. Probably just give him like maybe a little bit of a plaid shirt, like the striped kind of looking shirt. I don't remember the exact pattern of plaid, but yeah, we'll try. This does not look like plaid. Not sure. I don't remember. I think it's just lines. But it would have to be different colors and stuff. Yeah, that looks like the lumberjack shirt a little bit. There we go. That looks decent. I just need to darken his beard at the bottom so there's more contrast between the shirt and the beard. There we go. Looks better. Maybe a little bit of shading with the lines. There we go. I need to make those thicker. It's decent. Looks like a lumberjack. Even though that's not what he was initially supposed to be. Kind of bored of drawing people, but it's really all I know how to draw decently with pen. I don't know. I mean, I think I'll draw one other thing. Ooh, I could draw an animal. Think better. Rhino. To look at pictures of rhino. And probably just the head of a rhino. Yeah, because you got the single horn. Looks cool. Well, whatever. It's okay if nobody watches my video. At least I'm trying. because I haven't been doing quite so much drawing. I've been like trying to draw on my iPad and stuff, and I'm thinking about maybe trying to stream that or just make some videos with what I've drawn over time, just talking. So I'll have more things to talk about, and it won't just have moments of I don't know what to talk about here. But yeah, so then we'll be all good. I'm probably picking like really bad times to stream because it's like pretty late. Just trying to draw the ear right now, and let's connect it to the body, and then get the other ear. Sometimes when I'm trying to look at the picture, when I'm trying to draw it, I will end up drawing my thing way out of proportion. But whatever. Pretty decent at like just looking and getting the proportions. I'm not very good at like making things look cute and stuff like that. Just trying to get a picture of the animal on my sketchbook. We can try to draw an experiment trying to draw cutesy later. Just have to get the rhino on there. Looks kind of depressed. Just trying to get the blocks of shading down at the bottom in. Because, yeah, it'd look funny without, it'd look funky without the shading. But, yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna put it on voice isolation. Not sure if other people are getting picked up in my microphone. Because it probably has better, my microphone probably has better hearing than I do. Which, that's probably not great if I'm trying to just pick up me. I just don't like how thin walls always are. You can always hear everything through them. get the skin because it has this very unique texture that I'm trying to get at least bits of. Hopefully, Mr. Rhino will look decent when I'm done with him. Like, it's not totally accurate, like, I'm not perfectly drawing the skin. Plus, my pen doesn't draw very thin, kind of at like the thinnest it can go. But yeah. I mean, it looks decent for not drawing a whole bunch of rhinos before. At least I made my rhino look pretty old. Which, I mean, that's fine. It can look old. Oh, welcome, one singular viewer. Just trying to draw a rhino. I don't look best, but it looks decent. I guess I'm out with my dad. He had come and said hi. But I am back, and I mean, I'll probably be ending fairly soon like after I'm done drawing my rhino. But yeah, this is an experiment. But yeah, I'm just trying to draw stuff that I don't draw very often. Trying to like draw more animals, try to draw things other than people, or draw from my imagination, which is quite difficult. It's crazy how people do that. It would be nice if I was able to just like sketch out of my brain. But alas, as of now, that is not my strong suit. I just keep sketching Mr. Rhino as I go. Try to make sure next time I try streaming that it is actually on and stuff. Because for 40 minutes it wasn't. It was just on the unlist thing where it's like on but not on. So it's like not it's technically streaming, but it's not public. So I accidentally had it doing that for a bit. Just trying to make my details a little more defined, get all the shading. Shading is really where stuff tends to pop. Just trying to get the very specific skin drawn. Quite difficult. Just trying to create texture with lines. So we have enough lines, and it's like, oh, there's something there. But I don't know. We're just trying. Hopefully your day's going well, whoever you may be. Just trying to give some extra shading anywhere where the skin is a little more pale. I'm trying to avoid those spots, but where it's darker, trying to give more shading, more variability. I'm gonna try to stream a little more often by like probably hopping on like during more weekdays try to stream a couple times a week. It also is taking a break from doing other stuff when I'm streaming. Just kind of like adding a whole bunch of extra lines, even if that's not what's in the picture. I think it just makes it look cooler if you have those lines. But sometimes how I get those lines means that there'll be blotches of ink in my stuff. But that's okay. Just sketching. Find more things to draw later this week. I think I'll go live probably like Wednesday, maybe Friday. Yeah. Just gonna try to be a little more consistent in what I do, because I am trying to draw more, and streaming's a good way to force myself to do it. But I do also like to. Rhinoceros ear. I think I'm pretty much done with my rhinoceros. He's looking pretty good, pretty shaded. So, yeah. When I start drawing later, I think I will probably draw in this section of my paper. But, yeah, well, I think I'm done streaming for tonight. Goodbye, one viewer. Goodbye. Hope to see you again.